Hello. Hello. I think this is working. Yes, I believe it is. Hello, everyone. Hello, my little wolf pack. How are we? My name is Fleetfieth, and today we're doing a little bit of a X4 Foundation stream. Figured it'd be a little bit of fun, bit bigger game since last time when our last set of streams when we played the front, which was quite a lot of fun. Now X4 Foundations. It's developed and distributed by Egosoft, quite a well-established games development company. I haven't played a hell of a lot of this game. I think I've put probably about 40 hours into it so far. Haven't had my campaigns go necessarily too well, but that is for a set of reasons which I will explain shortly. Now, X4 Foundations is quite an interesting game. If you've ever played Elite Dangerous or EVE Online, sort of those Stellaris, maybe even you could see a bit of a draw from there. This is sort of a blend of all three of them. X4 is quite unique in the way it plays, which I will make sure to show all of you. You can spend your entire time in whichever one ship you choose to pilot and spend the entire time in your cockpit and fly around and do missions and basically have it be a first-person spacer game. Or you can stand on the deck of a spaceport and manage an empire by having other ships built and having AI captains issuing orders to AI captains that are running them, and play the game as a bit more of a strategy game. That's why I say something like Stellaris. There's a couple other games that come to mind that I can't really think of. Something like Distant Worlds 2, even Sins of a Solar Empire, if you want that sort of bit of an older draw. I tend to play the game that way because I do much prefer a more strategy side of gameplay to space games than, being in the cockpit. But we are still going to spend a little bit of time there. We've got to get set up. We've got missions to do and make our first little bit of coin. So we're going to dive in, get a new game set up. Now, there's all sorts of... Okay, hang on. Let me turn down voice volume. Actually, I'm just going to turn that off entirely. Make life easy. Now, there are quite a few different starting scenarios to this game. Many of them are brought in by the game's DLCs and expansions. You've got Kingdom End, Tides of Avarice, Cradle of Humanity, and there is another DLC that I do not yet own. I just haven't bothered yet because I haven't really gotten into the meat of the game. A game of X4 can go for thousands of hours in one save, one game. So it is quite a chonky game. There's a heap of different starts here. Now, we could go through them all. Some of them have you playing as the different species in the game. There's, humans as typical. There's all sorts of alien species that you can play as. We're not going to do any of them to start. I want a nice, easy start so we can get into the meat, but not have to worry about being stuck in full-on in the story of the game from the start. So we're going to come down here to the Foundation set, and there's 5 different campaigns you start as. Each of them have, you can start as different races. 3 of them are humans, 1 of them is Talati, which is one of the alien species, and 1 of them is Paranid. We're just going to start with a young gun. Starts us off with 10,000 credits, which, believe you me, is really not a lot, and a fighter. We basically start off with nothing. We're just going out into space and cracking on. So hopefully my graphics card wants to hold up to this. I know I kind of might have cooked it a little bit playing the front, but that is okay. We are going to jump in and crack on. Please also let me know if anyone jumps in, whether any of the sounds are a bit out. I know I'm quite loud, and I know that this game at times can tend to be both a bit loud and a bit quiet. So please let me know as soon as you can, and I will get it rectified for you. I don't have any of the game music on, just to avoid DMCA and YouTube strikes. But that's okay. It does have quite a cool soundtrack if you jump on YouTube or anything else. You can check out the soundtracks. So we start off in a spaceport. As you can see, it's already quite large. I do find this game to be quite refined. The X4 universe is not new. It's quite an old series and universe. But Egosoft are constantly developing this game. I think the most recent DLC, the most recent expansion, I think maybe might have come out a couple of months ago, maybe a bit longer, but it's sort of been within the previous 12 months. And this is a game that's been out for quite a long time. They're always improving it. They're always giving us a lot of new content, so it's really, really good to see. So, yeah, welcome to X4 Foundations. It's no fanfare, not a massive, much to look at. So, as you can see, this is we're a dude. We don't have any legs. We are playing a dude, and yeah, no UI, no basic UI for when you're on foot. However, we do have a set of menus. I'll jump into the map menu just because I know Emmy's map and the controls for this game, if you've ever played Arma 3, are kind of similar to that. So yeah, we'll jump straight in. I'll explain the sort of UI and all of that sort of stuff first, and then we can jump in our ship, which is right in front of us, and start cracking on. So this is our map UI. You can see a few places here. Each of these hexagons, you can see them, is more or less like a solar system, or like a local group of solar systems. Sometimes there'll be hexagons in hexagons, so there's one here, I know there's one down here. The rest of this space out here is just empty space. If you go try to get to it, the game ports you back into this area. Each of these areas out here aren't necessarily an area that you can explore, these sort of grey hexagons here. They're just the boundary to where you know. You can see there's a couple of other systems we sort of know of, but we haven't explored. There is Fog of War. As you travel around, that Fog of War is lifted, but unless you put down radars or sensors, or have AI ships flying around, the information on your map isn't always correct. So having sensors, if you want to keep an eye on what's going on in the systems around you, is a really, really, really good way to sort of move forward with the game. So you can see over here, what we've sort of got, you've got your basic UI up here. Our character's name is Val Selton. That's what the story gives you. Your character's name is Val Selton. You can see location, this is the date and time in game, and how much money you've got. You've got all sorts of little buttons up here which, you know, relate to trade, mining, and basically anything else. So trade tells you sort of the main things that are being traded in this station. You can see there's a bunch of other tabs up here that we will look at in a minute. Wow, those game sounds are very loud. I will turn them down quickly. Let's just turn down the main. And we'll bring these down a bit because, to be honest, I don't think any of you would like to be deaf. I hope that is a little bit better. I moved my mic closer to actually. So yeah, you've got that up here. You've got an object list. So basically, what that tells you is everything in the area where you're currently looking. So we can see like whatever's in this section here. That's what that tells us. So that's stations and ships, stations and subordinate ships, and deployables like satellites. Owned property, obviously. We own our ship. And there's much the same, again, there, ships with inventory, deployables. Any offers of missions, any missions that we've accepted, any upkeep for ships. You can see that we've got a mission for the ship we've got now right in front of us, which is acquire a captain. So that is an AI captain. When we're not using it, that captain will if we issue an order. But for the moment, we don't have to worry about that. We might as well save our pennies. And any guidance missions. There's general information of anything we click on can have information. So we can see that, what is this? ANT Prospector Discover a Sentinel model, who it's owned by, its location, who it was produced by, all of that sort of stuff. And any land plots that we own. If we come over here, there's our options tab. Here's our player information. So, just general about us, our skills, our relationships with nations, empires, groups, guilds. All of our stats, which is actually really, really cool. Inventory, mods, and a bunch of other information that we may or may not use later. Dock interactions, so this is if we want to interact with the space station itself. We can use this screen here. There is a trader as well in most stations, but the trade from our ship and the trade we have to do when we get out of our ship and go to a trader are a little bit different. So that is something we'll approach on. Obviously our map, our encyclopedia, so if we need to search up any information, we've got our encyclopedia here, and that's just any ship we come across, any system, any species, any faction, all of that is stored in this area. And then there is a tutorial list, which is really good. There are tutorials that come in the scenario selection. You do not have to use them. I actually learned the basics of the game just by going through this list here. I think I got down to trading, and by then I'd figured out enough. The rest of it I sort of learned on the fly. The only thing I haven't done more or less is capturing ships and fleet resupply. So that's pretty much the UI basics. We've got our ship here. Wow, those ships are still really, really loud. We are going to turn that right down. Hopefully that's a bit more tolerable. So this is our ship right here. This is a... What did I press? I pressed a button. I pressed shift. I forgot shift teleports you back to your ship when you're on a station. So this is our ship. This is a Vanguard, which I think this one... It says Elite Vanguard, but I'm not sure whether... yeah, Elite Vanguard. There we go. So if we go information, we can see the model is an Elite Vanguard. Its ship type is a fighter. This is a very, very light, very, very fast combat ship. However, you can see the big gun on the front, which really isn't that big, but that's okay. We will jump up in our ship, and I've got to remember how to fly, which is going to be fun because it has been a little bit of time since I last played. Now, in here, once again, there's this little menu that we can see. This is dock interactions. Get back up out of the ship. Information, we can upgrade or repair the ship through here. So there's all sorts of options. Thrusters, or engines, thrusters, shield generators, your guns. any software that you need. So we're going to want a docking computer and a trading computer straight out of the go. So we're going to add that to our shopping list. No, we're not. Trade. No, what am I doing? Let's think about this for just half a second. We are going to want a docking computer, so we will take that straight up, and that will work itself through. It takes a little bit of time. The more upgrades you do, the longer it takes. When you're getting a ship built, obviously the bigger the ship, the more you add to it, the longer it takes. There's a trade screen here, so a lot of the things you pick up that are stored in your ship's inventory, any ores that you mine, anything like that, is traded through this screen here. And these are ship modes, which we don't have to worry about just yet. Those ships are really, really loud. No, it's not ambient. It is effects. They are super loud. Now, I do just want to check my controls quickly. As you can see, the control list is huge. I want to make sure I know Shift 1, Shift 2, Shift 3, and Shift 4. So we're going to be using travel mode a lot. Okay. So to get started, there's a certain thing we're going to do. We're going to go out into space and get ourselves a head out into an asteroid belt. Now, I need to remember how to fly. Alright, there we go. So you can set the keybinds as to whatever you want. You've got your main engines. There is a thruster that you can use, obviously increases your speed. However, if you want to get some serious speed up, Shift 1 will enter you into travel mode, which is good for when you really want to move it. We can see ahead of us, game looks quite good actually. I'll slow us down and we'll have a bit of a quick look around. You can see you can't land on any planets or moons, unfortunately. However, later in the game, the end game interaction is terraforming planets. Hopefully, you know, as we push further into the campaign, once we get a bit more powerful, we can start playing around with that. You can see there's the station that we've left. I'll actually, once the ship wants to respond to me, you can see here's the station that we've just exited. So it's quite big. You can see all of the AI ships flying around. Everything is modelled quite nicely. A lot of it is very utilitarian. But it all, you know, the Egosoft have done a very, very good job of making this game look quite nice. You can see a sun over there with all the flares and all that sort of shit coming up. And just a lot of sort of environmental ambience, for lack of a better word. There's a jump gate. There's another station just there, which we haven't yet discovered. And yeah, so we're going to enter travel mode, and I forgot. Okay, so middle mouse and space are our guns. I have forgotten how to look around in my ship. No, it's not that, it's not that, it's not that. Doesn't matter. Might be alt, actually. No, it is not. Right, so we're going to head over to an asteroid belt to get started, because we want to make some really early game money. One of the best ways to do that, we do not have mining capabilities with this ship. This ship is a fighter, not a mining ship. However, good early game way of making money is a lot of asteroids will have crystals on them. And crystals, depending on the crystal, can be worth, you know, a small but reasonable. All of the crystals that are worth less come in higher quantities and are obviously more common. And then, of course, there are rarer, more valuable crystals. So we're going to come to this asteroid belt. They are attached to asteroids. And we're going to attempt to find some, and we can use our gun and the tractor beam that's equipped to our ship to snag a few. Now, there's a specific thing we're looking for. We are looking for, like, a white flash of light, because the game uses that as an indicator for there being crystals nearby. Now, I believe it's O that is our tractor beam. And we're going to actually, now the game sounds are really, really quiet. So we are going to bring the effects up a bit, because I do like hearing the ship. It is part of the game. So we're just going to look for a couple of these glints. If we can find some. Sometimes you have to travel around a little bit to find them, and that's okay. This is a game that can take a fair bit of time, and we're not going to rush into anything. There's a certain quest line I want to hit relatively early once we've, mined some crystals and got some upgrades for our ship, which I will... That's nothing of import to us. Which I will show off and explain as we get a bit further, a bit closer to it. And once our ship is outfitted, we want better shields, we want a trading computer, and we want possibly a bigger gun, engines, all of these different things to make our ship more useful. Is that there a crystal? Nope, that is just part of the asteroid. So sometimes it does take a bit for you to find crystals. Sometimes they're as common gets. Sometimes you just have to spend a bit of time looking through an asteroid belt, trying to find, just these little white flashes. So what we'll do is we'll slow down, we'll swing around. That sun is going to be bright as all hell. Do we have any crystal glint here? Right, we might wait half a second just to see if some are going to spawn in. Sometimes it can take a little bit of time. And I'll show you the map so you can see where the fog of war is lifted. We can see far more. That factory that we hadn't discovered that was in front of us as we're flying here is a microchip factory. So they make chips which are... I think used in the construction of ships for the most part. They have a couple of uses. Most things do. And you can see here, all of this coloration is a mining area. Now, what that means is if we can... No, we can't. We're going to need a... Where are we? No. Okay, here we go. So we can see here... There's mineral regions, gas regions, and mineral/gas regions. So these are the sort of things we can mine, harvest, whatever you want to call it. And the colorations are specific to them. So let's jump back in. Aha! There's a flash. Now that we've got one, I'm pretty sure it was on this... Oh no, there it is. What are you? You're a silicon asteroid. Is it you that's flashing? Aha, here's a crystal on the silicon asteroid. So we can see this is a menaline crystal. There's all sorts of control for this game. You can control the pitch and yaw and roll. We are going to shoot at this crystal and hold down O for our tractor beam. And we are actually going to try and get a little bit closer to it so that we do not lose any of the crystals that we're harvesting. So you can see we've picked up them. If we go to property owned, can we see information? No, it's not in there. I'm just looking to see what our... No, we can't see what's in there. That's okay. So we've harvested that crystal. It finally seems like they're finally starting to spawn. We're going to fly around a little bit more. We are going to want to harvest a fair few, just to get us off the ground. We want to spend a bit of time upgrading this ship, and we want to get an AI mining ship going as early as possible to start making a passive income. They tend to pay for themselves pretty quickly, and as long as they're not in a active combat zone or anywhere that's sort of you know, near where AI empires tend to fight often, generally they'll be okay. And actually that brings me on to another point that I haven't spoken about yet. This game, much like many of these you know, quite large games, there is a crisis, or a crisis quote unquote, in it. There is a specific species called the Xenon, and their entire premise is basically wipe out everything in the universe. No faction can ever truly be wiped out in X4. They will always, you know, hold on somewhere, somehow, but they can be reduced to such a degree that they cannot rebuild themselves. You can help them rebuild, supplying them resources, getting them back up, you know, on their feet. But yeah, the Xenon are pretty much the driving force in this game. This game is built around, or the AI are built around the destruction of ships. That's how the economy is, you know, sort of fueled. And it is the Xenon that will do, you know, the most destruction to drive that point. There, you know, AI versus AI factions does do a bit, but the Xenon are definitely the driving force for it. This asteroid belt is garbage. We are going to just go into travel mode for a sec, just so I can get some speed up, because I've used all my boost power. Just to get us over here, and we can take a look from another direction. But if we don't find anything here in this pass, I might go to a different system where I know there's a bigger belt. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Alright, so we're going to go into the map, and we want to go up to Argon Prime. So we're going to start guidance, and we are going to turn on autopilot, just to make life easy. So yeah, this game, it is absolutely massive. Why did you abort? Did you get too close to a rock? I think you might have got too close to a rock, didn't you? So yeah, this game is absolutely huge. I wouldn't compare it necessarily to the size of EVE Online with, you know, everything that's going on in that. But it does still have for an AI-driven economy, it does still have a very living and breathing economy. There is a lot to explore. Every time you think you've done a heap of quests, and surely there can't be anything else here, another quest will come up. There's always something to do. And the game also randomly generates quests. So you might go to a station and there'll be just a heap of quests that the game drops in from the AI factions for you to do. You can earn a bit of money, you can get faction reputation, you can get blueprints for construction of stations and ships and all sorts of stuff. And it can be another sort of driving point to your progression. So we're going to jump through the gate. Game had a little bit of a spaz out there. I don't know what's going on. I believe we're on a super highway at the moment. So we'll jump in. Oh no, we're just still in travel mode. We're about to jump on a super highway. What are you? Holy Order of the Pontifex. They do not like me for some reason. Probably because I'm Argon, which is, in this game, human. Oh, actually. Give me manual control. Let's shift 1, dump speed. This place, this system is called Second Contact Flashpoint. And Second Contact Flashpoint is a very lovely place. Because Second Contact Flashpoint has a lot of combat. And in this game, ships will drop any cargo they have, or some of the cargo they have, if they are destroyed. And sometimes they will drop parts of their stuff. I think we're about to get hurt here, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm starting to think this might be a bad place to be, but we're just going to chill for a sec. We should be okay. They all seem to be passing us. And some of these parts can be worth quite a lot of money. So we're just going to have a little cheeky look around. I'm terrified that these ships are going to attack me. But we might be able to make a little bit of pocket change here. We're not losing health or anything, are we? No. It might actually be best for us to continue on our way, get some crystals, upgrade our ship, and then return once this area sort of simmered down a little bit. We have a message. What is the message? If you're reading this, you have been Free League is capable of aiding us. So we've received an invite to a faction, which we are not going to take. The Argon Federation is probably going to be our primary friends in this game. Sorry, I know I'm throwing a lot of information out very, very, very quickly. Alrighty, so we're going to turn off autopilot. We're going to take over manual control. And now we have an asteroid belt. I know there's a lot that's not been explained. There's a lot I'll explain as we push through this campaign. If you guys do have any questions, please do not be afraid to ask. Whether that be during the stream or in the comments down below, and I will endeavour to do my best to answer them. But again, I am not a professional knower of information with this game. There are people out there much better suited to answering questions than I am. So honestly, I hope for the most part that we can all sort of learn the more advanced stuff together. Alright, so we're going to be in travel mode going through this asteroid belt, because a lot of it's spread out. It's quite long, so travel through here can take a fair bit of time if you're not in travel mode. But it's all sort of spread out, so we can sort of weave our way in amongst the asteroids. Sometimes we'll have to jump out of travel mode, like here we're probably going to need to, just so that we can get our flight angle recorrected. And we'll should still be able to see the flashes of crystals. Was that one on this asteroid just then? No. We should still be able to see the flashes of crystals. There's one. Even while we're moving at quite large speeds. So what have we got here? That's a bandonite crystal, which I believe is sort of like the least worthwhile crystal. It's worth the least, but we might as well pick it up, because at the moment we need everything we can get. Now sometimes you do have to chase these bloody things because the asteroids like to move. So we're gonna move up and get a bit closer, and we're gonna do our best to smash this asteroid out before, or this crystal out before it swings around. Now, we may get a... Yeah, there we go. We got an unstable crystal, which is something we do not want. I need to remember now, before an AI ship comes along, drop inventory. I really wish it didn't ask you to drop everything. Let's drop, and we'll drop the unstable crystal, because as far as the AI, a lot of the AI factions are concerned, they are very illegal. Because you can use them to make bombs, which you can use to bomb stations. So the AI aren't necessarily big on it. I'm hoping that we get lucky enough to find one of the super rare crystals. You do find them on occasion. Because they're worth like 100,000 credits each. So I'm hoping that we can get our grubby mitts on one. Now, it's good in this game, there is no collision damage with your ship with objects. So if you do accidentally smack into a station, or in this case, there's a good chance at some point I will probably smack into an asteroid, your ship's not going to blow up and you're not going to lose everything. At least that was last I played anyway. Come on, give me a crystal. Give me a really nice, expensive crystal. Oop, we got very close to that asteroid. I'm not seeing any more flashes yet. But we're going to keep looking. This is quite a large belt, and we can always swing around and come back the other way, which will have rendered everything in and hopefully cranked up the amount of crystals that there's going to be. Come on, give me some crystal. Gimme, gimme, gimme. I'm not seeing another one just yet. Alright, we're going to dump speed here real quick. Oh, there's another station. There's another jump gate to, I believe, a system that we haven't found yet. Yes. We can also remove that guidance marker. And we're going to swing around and head back the other way. It will probably do this for, well, I don't know, until we've got a fair chunk of resources. We'll go and sell up and see how much we can make. We might even get a mining ship going with an AI captain before we upgrade our personal ship, just to start getting that passive income going, and we can go and focus on doing a bit of exploring and scavenging in combat zones for quite expensive parts. We are threading the needle with this. Probably wouldn't do this if my ship could be destroyed. Not until I was confident I was good. I do have a I'm playing with keyboard and mouse at the moment. I do have a joystick, but it's not very good. I kind of want to get a second one so I can do dual analog setup. I think I just saw... Was that a crystal flash up here? No. No, it was not. It might have been a bit of sun glint off of one of the... Up, 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 up. There we go. Another Banadite crystal, but that's okay. It's better than not finding any crystals at all. So we can sort of live with that. So let's light this bastard up. Make a bit more money. There we go. We got another unstable crystal. They are annoyingly quite common. You have to keep dumping them, which is a bit on the irritating side, but that's okay. Drop inventory. Can we just... Is there an option to... No? Okay, let's just drag that down. And we will drop them. I am looking forward to getting past this sort of starting point in the game, and we can start doing some quests, because this starting point, it's a bit repetitive and just gets a little bit boring. So, I did half think about getting this done pre-stream, but I wanted to start everything off with you guys so you could at least see the basics and one way of many of getting started. You can dive straight into combat. You can sort of almost dive straight into just standing on a dock and you playing it as a sort of strategy game. Again, that is probably the majority of the avenue we're going to take. I do find, at least I find it's a lot more enjoyable playing it like that. However, we still will have our own ship. I tend to keep the Vanguard for quite a... Nope, we do not want to exit to desktop. I think I just saw a crystal flash on this. Or I might have been going mad. Each of these are equally as likely. No, I think I was going mad. What was I saying? Yeah, we still will have our own ship. We will still go out into the universe to explore and do missions and whatnot. But we are going to be spending a decent chunk of time in the map, managing our empire, getting everything else set up. Just, yeah. The quest that we're going to be sort of starting to get everything off will eventually lead us to getting our own space station. Rather than having to build one from scratch, it sets us up with one. Ooh, that was very close. So we are going to use that, and we can use that to build off of it, and it'll become sort of our HQ. Where are more crystals? We might end up just going to a wharf or a shipyard shortly, and seeing if we can get an AI ship set up and ready to start mining resources. We'll do one more pass through that sort of area where we've been. And then we'll do that. Because I'd hate to bore you guys with just flying back and forth trying to find crystals for too long. Don't vape, kids, it's bad for you. Okay, come on. Give me a crystal. Just one or two more and I will be absolutely chuffed. I can feel my room heating up with my graphics card. Was that what I think it was? We'll use our boost just to get over here before this asteroid turns around. Is that a crystal? No, it's not. And see, we just bounce straight off the asteroid. I do believe velocity, however, carries over. So sometimes if you hit an asteroid, they tend to spin quite wildly. I believe. Oh, there was a flash. I swear that was a flash. Maybe I am just seeing things. Maybe I'm going mad. Mind you, we've known this for a while. Ah, yes, there we go. I knew there was one. It's another, it's a Banadite crystal. But, again, beggars can't be choosers. We want to make some quick money early game. And this is, so far as I've found, short from being in active combat zones, this is one of the best ways to do it. This is quite a big crystal too. Come on, give me the goodies. I don't think we got a single unstable crystal off of that. Come on, give me one of the rare ones. A nice rare one. Alright, we're about halfway through our last pass before we go. Was that a flash? What are you? that's just texturing. Or the look of the asteroid. So this system that we're in now, which I believe is Argon Prime, I do like setting up my first 1 or 2 mining ships in this system, because obviously it's got quite a large asteroid belt, and it tends to be lucrative early game, because this system, for the Argon Federation, which is again the group we're going to align ourselves most with, we're going to be supplying their factories, and through the trade you earn reputation with them, which unlocks bonuses and blueprints and all sorts of nice cheap things on deals. However, there is an inherent risk to setting up in this system. There tends to be Xenon nearby, like a system controlled by the Crisis faction. We're going to hit that Astro... Oh, that was really narrow. And this system tends to just get absolutely pounded by the Xenon. You'll end up with massive destroyers. And the last campaign I played of this, of X4, most of this system got all the stations and ships owned by any faction that was here, just got absolutely destroyed, which was a bit of a shame. Now, I know I said last pass. Can I sell my crystals at this station? That is the Argon shipyard, so this is the big boy shipyard. We will definitely go up and have a look. I'm pretty sure we can sell them here, so... I don't think we want to build a ship out of the Argon shipyard, like a mining ship, because I'm pretty sure the wharfs do small and medium, and I'm pretty sure the shipyards do large and extra large. Can we not have pop-ups coming up? I don't need tooltips. I know how to land at a shipyard. Okay, we're going to quickly dive into the settings and turn off tooltips, because we do not need them. If I need to research something, I will. Now I just need to find the dock at this station, which might be up above it. Where is the dock? That might be it over there, actually. I can't entirely tell. We might just have to explore around a little bit and find out. You can see there's quite a lot of... the shipyards are quite large. There's quite... When you start building your own, you don't have many blueprints unlocked. There's several ways you can get blueprints. Sometimes there's little electronic glitches on these shipyards, and you can hack them to get them. You can earn RP from... here we go. Here's the dock. So we've been granted docking permission. We don't need to dock the same way, but we do need to be in line with what they're asking to be able to come in and land. So we're directly over, we're directly pointed, and now we just lower ourselves down and we are docked. Yeah, you can get your reputation up and they will eventually sell you blueprints. Can I please sell my... Oh, wait, I think I need to go to the... No, I didn't want to undock. The auto-saving takes just a hot minute. Can I go straight back into... No, I can't. So I'm going to have to go out of the docking area. Can I please get docking permission? Please. I'd like to land. I want to go to a trader. Oop, too fast. So we're in line. There we go. We'll dump our speed. We'll lower ourselves down. And we're going to go visit the trader that I spoke about earlier. And it's an AI trader. We want to get out of our seat. Now, there's no... You have to double tap W to sprint. And we're going to come to this sort of transporter room. We want to go to the trader's corner. And we'll get transported there very quickly. Speak to the trader, show me your wares, and we want to come down here and sell them all of our crystals. So we're going to earn 140, basically 143,000 credits for that, which is absolutely brilliant. I can't remember. I don't think it was Shift that sent you back to your... It's not Q. It's not F, that's Interact. It's not Tab. Oh, that's alright. We'll just transport to it. Now, actually, another good point. Since there weren't any AI people on that other station when we first started, you can hire crew for your ships. Obviously, I've spoken about a captain. You can hire your captain for your ships to fly it. You can get crew members which can take up roles, whether that be engineers. You can get marines for boarding other ships. Okay, so apparently Shift does teleport us back to the ship. It doesn't necessarily... we don't necessarily need them now. But we will in the future. So yeah, we can only buy large and extra large ships. What is a large miner worth? A hell of a lot of fucking money. 1.4 million credits, and that's just for the basic ship. Why was I just getting a notification? A wondrous opportunity. This time has been selected to aid one of the greatest minds of the current age. All that is required is... Okay, so this is just a starting reference point for that mission I was talking about, which will give us our own station. This is basically just the game telling you, oh, look at signal leaks, which are those glitches I was talking about before, because those glitches do all sorts of things, and you can use that to get your ship, start the mission that gives you your station, rather. Now, we want to go and find the wharf, because the wharf will allow us to build... here it is. The wharf will allow us to build small to medium-sized mining ships. So we're going to start heading over there. And get ourselves ready. Now, I want to be able to know how far away so I can cut my travel mode at the right time. And we'll get we'll just, if we've got the credits, we'll get a mining ship up straight away, and we'll worry about the upgrades on our personal ship after. Let's go. Now, I think it's about 10k I normally cut the engines. 2, 1. Because then we can dump speed and we end up right nearby. Here is the shipyard. Now, you can interact with stations to order the construction of ships from the map. I'd just like to come in here and do it for you. That is an enemy. That is what that little red marker and sound that came up. That indicates the presence of an enemy. Generally, they're just like a little quiet pirate. We will shoot them every now and then, but it isn't of great concern for us at the moment. We might take up some quests relatively soon, just some small ones. Make a bit of extra money, get some extra rep. Okay. So now that we're docked, we're going to go buy ships. I want to look at mediums first. We'll go a mineral miner. How much? You're going to be 104,000, basically 105,000 just to get us going. So let's have a look at the smalls. Courier. So yeah, you're going to be 66 grand. So we're just going to start getting this set up with the basics. What are we at there? That's 90. We want a shield generator. We want a basic mining drill. I don't think... Yeah, we're going to be short by... We're probably going to need another 100,000 credits. So, at this point, I might actually head back to the combat zone. And we'll go and do some scavving. We'll just boost our way out of the station. And we need to turn to the right. Now, I'm not... This series, it's not like when we did the beta for the front. This is going to be less criticism of the game. You know, and I don't mean criticism in a bad way, but it's going to be less criticism of the game and more focused on just actual gameplay and playing it. There are some things I could probably say. Some just little bits and pieces that I find that annoy me about the gameplay. But they're pretty minor, and for a game as well fleshed out as this, I'm not too concerned. So this, like I said, this campaign, this series, if it goes well and we start getting a bit of traction behind it and everyone enjoys it and I continue it, is going to be mainly focused on the gameplay and the story I involve myself in and the story that we build ourselves for our own little empire. Now, we are going to start beginning to look for scavving. We do want to get some satellites as well and start placing them around at some point. Where is that jump gate? So that I want to be over this side of these asteroids. There is an enemy ship. I wonder if that's a Xenon. Oh, I don't know. I couldn't entirely tell whether that was a Xenon ship or not. I would just hate to spend my time... I just don't really want to die this early on in the game. Is that a spaceship? I think that's a ship, or that's a jump gate, actually. Yeah, I'd hate to die this early on in the game, because then I'd have to waste the money that we do have getting myself a new little fighter, and I don't really want to do that. It looks like a lot of the stuff that would have been dropped has been collected by the AI, which is a bit of a shame, but we have spent, you know, a little chunk of time out of this system. Purge our speed again. It looks like there's some fire... Oh, here we go. We got tons of stuff here. Nevidium crystals, not in tuning software. We will go to you. We want those into... what do we want? There's one thing I'm looking for. That's got credits in it and a seminar. There's one specific thing I'm looking for. And that is, if I can find it, I believe it's the targeting computer. Because they're worth generally about, I think, like 140,000 credits or 170,000 credits a piece. And generally when they drop... Yeah, see, that tuning software is going to be worthless to us. I couldn't remember how much they're worth. When they drop, they tend to drop a few at a time. We do want that box, though, because that's got some credits in it, and it's got a seminar. You can use the seminars to upgrade your AI employees. I'm not entirely sure, but I do believe you can use them for yourself. We might as well, I mean, our tractor beam's going to pick up everything here anyway. We'll pick up all of this stuff. Secure crafting spacesuit bomb. So we just got a couple of bits and pieces. Let's have a look. Drop inventory. So yeah, we got a management seminar. We got a couple of bits and pieces. Even though we're not going to sell that seminar, it is going to be worth while for us to have it. We've got more combat debris over here. Seminar for 1 star. Okay, there is a lot of stuff over here. However, I am... Excuse me. I am... Programmable field array. That's what we're looking for. I'm pretty sure that... Oh, no, don't do that. I'm pretty sure that's the thing we're after. Fucking targeting computer. Oh, sorry guys, give me half a sec. Sorry guys, something important's come up. I do have to dip for about half an hour, and then I will be back. So I'm going to stop this stream, and I'll pick it back up once...